In this video, I'll walk you through 5 clear signs that it might be time for your loved one to downsize and how to make the decision with confidence and less stress, worry, and guilt. In my experience, people tend to wait far too long before they decide to move into senior living. And by then, it's often a crisis, not just emotionally, but financially and physically too. So you might be thinking, it's not that bad yet, or we'll know when the time is right. But the truth is the signs may already be there. And the longer you wait, the fewer options you may have. My name is Jonathan Schwartz, and I'm the founder of Partner in Aging here in San Diego, California. We've helped thousands of families through this exact decision. So if you're caring for an aging loved one, you are in the right place. Let's start with what I consider the biggest red flag, and that's in-home safety. If your parents are starting to miss medications, if they've had a fall but didn't tell you because they were too embarrassed, if you're finding piles of unopened mail, burnt food, or spoiled food, or trouble managing the laundry, these are not necessarily parts of normal aging. These are signs of decline in function. It's easy to say, oh, they're just having an off week, but in my experience, these patterns don't usually improve on their own. They build up quietly until something more serious unfortunately happens. I always tell families, a fall isn't the problem, it's the first fall that one does not get up from, that becomes the crisis. You don't need to panic at every missed pill or unwashed dish, but you should begin tracking, observe routines, and ask gentle questions. Start a home safety audit. Is your loved one remembering meals? Are they balancing their checkbook or managing their bills? Do you see bruises that they can't remember getting? The answer to, is it time to move, often starts with what the house itself is already showing you. But even if everything physically looks okay, there's another factor most families completely miss. Let's talk about something less visible but equally urgent: isolation. This one can creep in quite slowly. Maybe your parent says they're fine, but they haven't left the house in weeks. Maybe they eat every meal in front of their TV by themselves. Maybe their phone barely rings, and when you visit, they seem distant or disengaged. This isn't just about getting older, it's a warning sign. Social withdrawal increases the risk of depression, dementia, rapid decline in motivation and energy. And here's the hard part: your parent might say they prefer to be alone, but in reality, they might just feel like their world has gotten smaller and they don't know how to feel like their old self again. One thing that surprises many families is how often seniors light up after spending just a day in a senior retirement community. Suddenly, they're in book clubs, game nights, fitness classes. They rediscovered routine, connection, and purpose. So if your loved one's world has shrunk to just 4 walls and a remote control, do not wait. Start with a tour and even a trial day. Let them visit, no commitment, just exposure. And even when they say I'm fine, there's another part of the story that exposes the full picture, and it's about you. The next part may sting a little bit because it's about you, the family caregiver. Are you tired? Are you stressed? Maybe you're not answering their calls right away like you used to. Maybe you're short-tempered or constantly juggling guilt. That's burnout, and it's incredibly common, especially when you're caring from a distance or juggling work, kids, and aging parents all at the same time. So here's the truth. Caregiver burnout doesn't just affect you, it affects the quality of care, it accelerates crisis decision, it creates resentment, even if no one talks about it. And the most dangerous part, burnout doesn't announce itself, it builds, and it builds quietly. I talk to families every day who say, I thought I could handle it, I just needed 1 more week. Then that week turns into a hospitalization or a breakdown, and now you're making rush choices under pressure. If you're here watching this video, you already care. So let this be a moment to pause and ask, am I really okay? Or am I just holding this all together with duct tape? And that leads us to something that changes everything when you understand it. One of the most powerful things a family can do is start the conversation before there's a crisis. Touring a senior living community doesn't mean you're committing to anything. It means you're exploring so you don't get trapped later. When you plan ahead, you get to choose the right community, not just the one with an open bed when you need it. It allows you to have time to understand the financial side, which is a huge topic by itself. Of course, I always recommend including your parent in these important discussions. You certainly don't have to move next month, but you have to be ready, because when the hospital calls and says your mom needs to be discharged, you do not want to have to start Googling which is the right community at midnight. You want to already have a plan. So let's take the pressure off and give you back some control. And here is the biggest myth that keeps families stuck. The phrase senior living still unfortunately makes people picture hospital beds, beige walls, and silence. Let's kill that idea right now. Senior living today isn't about losing independence, it's about gaining life. We've seen parents who refuse to go only to move in and start dancing again. They eat better, they sleep better, they have friends, and yes, they feel safer. One daughter told me, my mom went from a recliner and eating TV dinners to chair yoga and painting classes. I get to see my mom back. The point of this video isn't to convince you to move your loved one. It's to show you that the earlier you explore, the more choice, peace, and wellness you'll have. Because staying isn't always the safe and smart option. Sometimes the right move is actually a move. So, should your parent downsize or stay at home? Now you have a clear framework. Safety, isolation, burnout, planning ahead, and redefining independence. This isn't about rushing into a decision. It's about recognizing the signs early so you have options and not emergencies. If this feels overwhelming, you are not alone, and you don't have to figure it out on your own either. We offer free aging action plan calls to help families like yours plan the next step with clarity and care. So please click the link in the description to book a call. No pressure, just support. Thank you for being here. You're the kind of family member your loved one is so lucky to have. Take care, and I hope to see you in the next video.